Hello and welcome to Anago Maths, International Advanced Subsidiary Stroke Advanced Level, Core Mathematics C12. Answer the questions in the spaces provided. You should show sufficient working to make your methods clear. Answers without working may not gain full credit. The total mark for this paper is 125. This is question number 1. Solve using algebra. That's part A, and then that's part B. Solve using algebra. If we notice there's x there, x there, x there. X is common, so we take x out of the bracket. So factorizing out the x, you have 6x squared plus 5x minus 6 equals to 0. So either x is equals to 0, which is one of them, or 6x squared plus 5x minus 6 is equal to 0. And when you factorize that quadratic, you will get 3x minus 2 and 2x plus 3 is equals to 0. Now, 3x minus 2 is equals to 0. Minus 2 goes to the right, it becomes plus 2. Times 3, it goes to the right, it becomes divided by 3. So x equals to 2 divided by 3. Now, 2x plus 3 is equals to 0. Plus 3 goes to the right, it becomes minus 3. Times 2 goes to the left, to the right, it becomes divided by 2. So the answer is minus 3 divided by 2. So your three answers, x equals to 0, x equals to 2 over 3, and x equals to minus 3 over 2. And you can do it with a calculator where you would put 6 for A, 5 for B, minus 6 for C, and the last term G, you put 0 because it doesn't exist, and it will give you the three answers, 1, 2, 3. Part B, hence solve for 0 less than equals to theta less than pi. 6 sine cube theta plus 5 sine squared theta minus 6 sine theta equal to 0. Giving your answers as appropriate to 3 significant figures. So we can replace sine theta with x. So let x be equals to sine theta. So that is the same 6x cubed plus 5x squared minus 6x equals to 0. So from before, because it says hence, from before when we solve it, we had x is 0, x is 2 over 3, or x is minus 3 over 2. So now we replace x, x is sine theta. So we say sine theta is equal to 0. So inverse sine of 0 is 0. Sine theta is equal to 2 over 3. Inverse sine of 2 over 3 is 0.730. Put your calculator in radians because it's one says you see pi there, your calculator should be in radians. Sine theta is minus 3 over 2. So inverse sine or arc sine of minus 3 over 2, it gives you an error in the calculator. So when you sketch the graph, you would have theta would be 0, 0.730 or 2.41. So you have the curve, that's where they meet there, 0.730 is that point there. And then the other one where theta is equals to 0 is there. So that's how you check your answers with the calculator. You plot the graph of y equals to sine x and y equals to 2 over 3. So y equals to sine x between 0 and pi, you would have the blue curve, and y equals to 2 over 3. You want to find where they meet. So that's one point where they meet. That gives you the 2.41, the other answer. That's the point where they intersect. And if you do y equals to sine x and y equals to minus 3 over 2, minus 3 over 2 is the one in red, and y equals to sine x, the one in blue. If you notice, they do not meet anywhere. That's why this one has no solution. And this is the view window, the settings that you would use for the x-axis and the y-axis so that you can see the diagrams clearly. And it's very important to do that. It helps you to check your work. Another way to check your work is you plot the graph of the 6 sine x cubed. That's how you put 6 cube x or 6 sine x cubed plus 5 sine x and so on in your calculator. And so that's the 6 sine x cubed plus 5 sine x squared minus 6 sine x. That's the shape of the graph there in blue. And then you can solve it because it says it's equals to 0. You can find the roots. So that's one of the answers, 0.729. And that will be another answer there, 2.41. So you got one of the answers there. That's 0.7. That's one answer. The one with 0 is there, and the one with 2.41. That's another way you can check your answer using the calculator. But make sure you do the algebra because they want you to show and do it algebraically. But this calculator is just to show you that your answers are correct. Question number 2. Find the integral of that, writing each term in simplest form. When we integrate, we use this formula for integration. Integral of x to the n, you add 1 to the power n plus 1, and you divide by the new power n plus 1, and plus integral of constant of integration c. So we want to integrate that function. We have to take the x cube to the top. So it becomes x to the minus 3. So that x cube goes to the top, the numerator, it becomes x to the minus 3. Now you've prepared the function, you can integrate it. Add 1 to 4, 4 plus 1, it gives you 5. And you divide by the 5. Add 1 to minus 3 plus 1, it gives you minus 2, and you divide by the minus 2. And this one is like x to the power 0. So when you add 1 to it, you just get x to the 1. And when you divide by 1, it stays the same, and you add the constant of integration. So 15 divided by 5, it gives you 3. 4 divided by minus 2, it gives you minus 2 over 3. And you have the x to the minus 2 and minus 4x and plus c. Or you can write it as 3x to the 5 and take this x to the minus 2 down. It becomes minus 2 over 3x squared minus 4x plus c. Those are the 4 terms of it. A sequence is defined by u1 is equals to 5 and un plus 1 is equals to kun plus 2. Find u2, u3, and then also you do part B. We start by putting n equals to 1. So u1 plus 1 gives you u2. So that will be ku1 plus 2. So we have u2 is equals to ku1 plus 2. And do we know what u1 is? u1 is 5. So we replace u1 with 5. So u2 is k times 5 plus 2. That means u2 is 5k plus 2. We always put the number in front. 5k plus 2, and that's u2. We put n is equals to 2. So 2 plus 1, it gives you 3. So ku2 plus 2. But do we know u2? Yes, u2 is the one we got up here, all of this. So we take all of that and replace it. 5k plus 2 is u2. So replace u2 with 5k plus 2. And we remove the bracket. K times 5k is 5k squared. K times 2 is 2k plus 2. So that's u3. Part B, given that u3 is 2, find the sum from n equals to 1 to 3 of un. So we know u3 is 5k squared plus 2k plus 2, and they've told us that's equals to 2. Now we want to solve it. You take this 2 to the left, it becomes minus 2. So 2 minus 2 is 0. So we're left with 5k squared plus 2k equals to 0. There's k there and there's k there. So factorize k out and we have 5k plus 2. So either k is equal to 0 or 5k plus 2 is equal to 0. Plus 2 goes to the right, it becomes minus 2. Times 5 goes to the right, it becomes divided by 5. So k is 0 and k is minus 2 over 5. Minus 2 over 5 is the same as minus 0.4. We want to sum from n equals to 1 to 3. So 1 u1 plus u2 plus u3, because we're going from 1 to 3. So u1 is 5, u2 is 5k plus 2, and u3 is 2, because they told us u3 is 2 from there. And we got k is minus 0.4. We substitute k is minus 0.4. So 5 plus 5 times minus 0.4 plus 2 plus 2. And that gives you 7. I couldn't figure out why the baseball kept getting larger. Then it hit me.